A massive fire forced its closure. Coming up at 6, we're live in Oceanside, where the pier is set to partially reopen to the public very soon.
And a family demands justice. What we know about the fatal shooting of a U.S. airman on his own doorstep.
Plus, graduation festivities are getting underway this morning at San Diego State University. We are live at Viejas Arena.
You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
What a great day for a graduation, right? Thanks for being here at 6 a.m. on this Friday. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Nada Iranpour. Yeah, people are getting ready to graduate. Mother's Day weekend plans are all underway. Let's send it over to meteorologist Evan Rani to check that forecast. How's everything looking?
Things are looking good outside right now. Clouds are already starting to break apart. That's great news.
Nice.
But we are going to see over the course of the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the mix of sun and clouds. So morning hours, sure, we'll have that marine layer present. And then by the time we get to mid-morning, we'll really start to see that afternoon sunshine really as the main force out there. Today, you can see temperatures are mostly in the 50s to start off the day. We are going to be making our way to the 60s by the time we get to about 9 a.m. So comfortable conditions out there. If you're looking at the other microclimates, instead of the upper 60s this afternoon, areas of our valleys should be making it well into the 70s, 74 inland, 75 across the mountains. They've noticed a nice warm up going into the weekend. And as I mentioned, that marine layer really just not as present this morning. So that's great news for those of you who want to get outside and enjoy the sunshine earlier on. We may have to wait a little while still. You can see how North County's not seeing as much of it. Downtown's got a little more. So a mix of sun and clouds to kick off the day. And coming up, we'll take a look at that Mother's Day forecast. We'll also talk about what's going on into next week. Back to you.
Evan, thank you very much. And in an hour from now, the Oceanside Pier set to partially reopen to the public.
That's right. The pier was shut down last month, as you know, from that devastating fire that tore through the far west end, destroying the old Ruby's Diner. CBS 8's Regina Yorita is live in Oceanside now with everything you need to know if you're going to head out there and visit. Regina?
Yeah, that's correct. Good morning, Eric and Netta, and it comes just in time for Mother's Day weekend, as well as very close to graduation. So if you want to have a nice little graduation photo shoot here, in just an hour, the pier will be back open to the public. Now, 2 weeks ago, we were seen really just questioning how much of the pier was going to be saved because of that fire. And today, almost 90% of the pier is saved. So take a listen to what the fire deputy chief told us.
The visual that I saw, I was fearful that we were going to lose 25–30% of the pier. And so to come out here less than 3 weeks later and see that we've saved 93% and we're ready to open tomorrow morning, it gives me a pretty good sense of accomplishment.
And so the opening will extend to the bait shop, the restrooms, and the fish washing station. Now, pretty much over 90% of the pier is okay. The damaged portion of the pier is known as the Hammerhead. That's where the old Ruby's Diner was located, and that's been blocked off with fencing and will remain closed until further notice. The fire deputy chief says it's going to take some time to rebuild. Now, the cause of the fire is believed to be accidental, but officials say the investigation is still ongoing. They're no longer doing any investigation on site. It's more lab work of what they're doing. But recently they've had conversations up in Seal Beach where a similar fire happened back in 2016. They're trying to get a gauge on how to apply what they've learned from that fire. The Seal Beach, however, did take about 3 years to rebuild, and it cost them about $3 million. So it's still unclear how long and how much money it will take to fix the Oceanside Pier. But the update today is that the pier is back open starting at 7 a.m. and then Saturday it'll go back to its regular hours from 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. So some good news coming from Oceanside. Eric and Netta, I'll send things back to you guys.
Regina, thank you so much for that. And now later today, a woman accused of driving drunk and causing a crash that seriously injured her toddler is set to face a judge. It happened late Tuesday night near the intersection of East Palomar Street and Brandywine Avenue in Chula Vista. Look at this crash scene. The 3-year-old was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. We still don't have an update on their condition. The woman, 26-year-old Inesha Frazier, was arrested for DUI-related offenses and child endangerment. A second car with 3 passengers also involved in this crash. Those 3 were taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
Right now, Oceanside police, they need your help finding a woman accused of murdering a man in a riverbed. Take a look at your screen here. This is 49-year-old Erin Sorensen. She goes by the nickname Angel. Police say she killed 37-year-old Jacob Sanders back in December of 2022. She is known to frequent Oceanside and Tijuana. A $1,000 reward is being offered for any tips that lead to an arrest. Call Oceanside Police or Crime Stoppers if you know anything. This morning, 3 people are in custody in connection to the murders of 3 surfers with ties to San Diego in Baja. Right now, only one person is facing charges. His name is Jesus Gerardo. Authorities say one of the other suspects is Gerardo's girlfriend. She's facing drug charges. Officials say the surfers were killed in a robbery attempt. Canines helped investigators locate the bodies, which were inside a well.
This morning, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is pushing back against President Joe Biden's warning to not launch a major strike against Hamas in the southern Gaza city of Rafah. President Biden said he wants to avoid mass casualties and paused a shipment of bombs to Israel last week. Netanyahu said, quote, "If we need to stand alone, we will stand alone. I have said that if necessary, we will fight with our fingernails."
Early this morning, police used gas on pro-Palestinian protesters who refused to leave their encampments at the University of Arizona. Just after midnight, a large group of law enforcement officers used gas and tore down an encampment blocked with wood and plastic barriers after the group ignored several commands to disperse. Protesters then left the campus before police fired more gas. USC tried to restore some of the magic of graduation last night after weeks of turmoil on the campus. The university hosted a graduation celebration for thousands of students and their families at the LA Memorial Coliseum. The university says it was worried about safety in light of recent events at pro-Palestinian demonstrations on campus. Dozens were arrested. Administration officials also canceled the graduation speech by this year's valedictorian over what they said were security concerns. And this week, the Faculty Senate voted to censure President Carol Folt and University Provost Andrew Guzman. Other schools with pro-Palestinian demonstrations on their campuses are canceling or modifying their ceremonies all over safety concerns as well.
Cal Poly Humboldt says its campus will be closed through Sunday. It's holding commencement ceremonies at 3 off-site locations. That'll be tomorrow. Then Emory University, that's in Atlanta, saying it'll hold its ceremony off campus on Monday. Columbia University canceled its main ceremony. It was scheduled to happen on Wednesday.
Back here at home, graduation festivities are set to get underway at San Diego State University here this morning.
Glad I wore red to support all of the
That's
graduates. We know it's been a hard several years to get to this point. Thousands of students will put on their caps and gowns and walk across the graduation stage at Viejas Arena. And that's where CBS 8's Chris Gross joining us live from to give us a preview. They're up already.
Look at that. They got
Nice.
the caps and gowns all set.
Yeah, we have our first sight on those caps and gowns. Some of the graduates just getting in line here. They're going to start going into Viejas Arena at 6:30. And I want to bring in 2 graduates here, Ellie and Issa, who are going to be graduating together. You guys are friends from high school. Wanted to quickly say, though, we got Mother's Day weekend coming up. Any special shout-outs that you guys wanted to give?
Shout out to my mom in Mexico. Love you, Mom. Thank you for everything that you've done for me. And I'm graduating today, so double whammy.
Oh, there you go.
Shout out to you, Mom. I love you. You always do everything for me, and I would not be here without you. So I really appreciate it. Love you.
Well, thanks for sharing, guys. And then real quick, you guys went to high school together in Otay, right? But because of COVID, you guys didn't get to have that high school graduation. So I just want you to reflect maybe on how you're feeling now going through your first graduation ceremony.
I'm feeling really excited, but this morning I woke up kind of anxious, realizing that I'm going to have to walk in front of a lot more people than high school. So that kind of hit me. But I mean, honestly, I'm really excited. It's kind of hard to, you know, recognize your accomplishments. And I think today is the perfect day for that, especially for Mother's Day. So I'm just feeling grateful.
That's awesome. How are you feeling?
I was really disappointed when we couldn't graduate, and so this really is making up for it, and I feel really grateful that I even can walk and with my best friend, because that was the first plan.
And then how special is it that you get to enjoy this with your best friend?
Oh, super special, you know? I mean, like, we've known each other since middle school. I mean, she's my best friend in the whole world. I feel blessed that we have this opportunity to just walk together. I mean, hopefully we walk together, you know? But yeah, I'm feeling grateful.
That's awesome.
I love this person right here, and I'm just super happy. I didn't think it was actually going to happen because I was really pushing to make sure I graduate this semester with her, and I'm so excited.
Well, awesome. Well, congratulations, guys, and congratulations to all the graduates that are going to be walking across the stage today. And thank you guys so much for sharing with us, especially on this special day. But you guys can see the line here of graduates starting to line up. You've got friends, you've got family who are probably all trying to find that perfect parking spot so that they can get in and get that perfect spot to watch their graduates here live and in person. Again, something they weren't able to do 4 years ago. Many of them that were in high school, they did those drive-through graduation ceremonies and so forth. Some of those ceremonies we got to cover ourselves, but nothing quite like this, like you heard, getting to walk across that stage in front of what is going to be quite a bit of people here, as you heard them point out there. So maybe some nerves, maybe some anxiety, but definitely a lot of pride, especially in the fact that they're able to reflect there on their achievements here after 4 years or more at San Diego State. Eric and Netta.
Love those
That
BFFs.
was so great.
Yes.
I know, to see the best friends together, going through all
Front of
middle
the
school
line.
to college, and here they are. Chris, thank you for that.
They're so
good,
excited.
like dancing in
You
the
could feel it,
background.
yeah.
Yes, congratulations to everyone. Mother's Day, as we just talked about, it's on Sunday here in the U.S., but today many Latin American countries celebrating Dia de las Madres. So that includes in Mexico, Guatemala, and El Salvador as well. Some families are forced to celebrate differently since the temporary closure of Friendship Park almost 4 years ago.
There's good and difficult challenges with the border and being so close to the border. And one of those good things used to be what Friendship Park used to provide as an opportunity, just to be able to reach out and touch somebody.
And now Customs and Border Protection officials say Friendship Park will reopen after the construction of the primary and the secondary fences. And now we do want to give a shout out to all of the mamas out there today. So this is our executive producer's mom. Oh, I could tell, because look how beautiful they are. Oh, yeah, our EP says her mom is the absolute best and is also the best grandmother to Sophia. Aww. So feliz Dia de las Madres to you. Oh, look at that.
Absolutely.
Grandmas together with Sophia. That is adorable. Look at her dress, too.
Yeah.
Look at
Looking
Sophia.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Yes.
So, yes, enjoy celebrating today all the way through the weekend, of course, for all the mamas out there. It's your
Absolutely.
special day.
Yes, and the weather's going to be beautiful for our moms out there, Mother Nature. Giving our moms a big shout out here.
Yes, exactly.
In the form of good forecast.
We've had a dry week. We will continue with a dry weekend, and all of next week looks to be dry as well. So we finally kind of entered this dry stretch of weather across San Diego County. Good morning to you. 6:12 on the clock right now. We're seeing temperatures walking out the door right now, mostly in the 40s and 50s. So 56 in Oceanside, 52 in Escondido, 44 in Ramona as you head out the door. Marine layer is present, so we do have clouds on hand, but they're not all that abundant. They're really not causing much trouble out there, and they're going to be breaking apart pretty quickly. Live look from San Miguel shows that it looks like that marine layer has intensified a bit over the last hour or so, but again, we have very, very good indication that by the time we get to about 9, 10 a.m. at the absolute latest, we'll start to see some of that sun. Farther east you are, sooner you're going to see the sun. As you head west, it's going to take a little bit longer, but we'll get there. Sunset's not coming until 7:30, 7 p.m., and it doesn't seem like those clouds are going to resurge going into sunset like they typically do. So we should have a pretty decent sunset out there with a view of the sun, all that. Weekend beach forecast, since we know that's a lot of people's plans once those temperatures hit the 70s along the coast. Here you go, 70 degrees, 71 for Sunday, AM clouds and PM sun. So don't want any text messages, emails, calls if you're out at the beach at 8 a.m. and you're wondering why it's still cloudy. Clouds are going to hang out with us for the morning stretch through the mid-morning, and then by the time we get to the afternoon at the absolute latest, we'll see the sun. In most cases, we'll see that sun by about mid-morning. Julian's going to start to see some wind gusts pick up. That's going to go for the mountains and deserts in general. We'll notice that climb into the teens for your wind gusts and then double digits for your sustained speeds out there. Let's take a look at what's going on your roads this morning. Time now is 6:13, and so far it is actually a very quiet morning commute out there. That's pretty typical for our Friday. Earlier we did have a stalled vehicle that was in the Lakeside area on the 67. This morning, no trouble out there. Volume is going to start to pick up in the next hour or so, though. So if you're trying to make any travel plans, I'd say get out there as soon as possible. Checking in on border wait times this morning, 90 minutes, pretty quick out there across the San Ysidro Port of Entry. We've had some mornings this week where that has been well over 2 hours. Otay Mesa Port of Entry down to 70 minutes, so you're a little quicker, about an hour 10 in total.